I'm sorry, but can someone just prove to me that that was actually Gareth Southgate's England in the Euros? I'm sorry, but I can't believe it. Pinch yourself, guys. We just played an attacking game of football. We contained them and defended when we needed to. We had a plan. We made halftime substitute. Well, we made a halftime substitution, which was brilliant. We made earlier but very good substitutions later in the second half, and we dominated. I mean, it was unrecognizable. I'm so proud of that. That is what this team is capable of, and that is why there has been so much negativity following this England team around the Euros and prior to the Euros as well. And it's why Gareth Southgate has received so much hate, because we all know that we're capable. We all know the quality we have, the individual quality that we have in this team. I mean, it's very easily one of the best teams in the world. We've got some of the best players in their position in the world. And all we have to do is get them replicating their club form on the international stage. Now, obviously, it can take a bit of time. I'm going to give Gareth Southgate some credit here, not just for this game, but credit in general, because what people don't realise is international managers have a very tough job in terms of time with the players. They don't get the players for long. The international breaks during the season are, 3, 4, 5 days at most. What can you do with a group of 25-ish players or whatever it is for a couple of days with 2 games that are friendlies? It's very, very difficult to mould them and shape them. The negative of this point is that, well, Gareth Southgate has had almost a decade with this English team. So whilst we've had players come and go, in general, he's had kind of a core group of players that he's relied on. So there's counters and there's pros and negatives of that thing, that statement. But when it comes to an international tournament like this, and in this case, it's taken us until at least now the semi-finals to really see a performance like that, you can sit there and just say, well, do you know what? Maybe it has just taken the team a little bit of time to settle and gel together for the tournament this summer, because this team wasn't playing like this for the last few weeks. It just wasn't. I think the last game was better, but this was truly brilliant. This is our first real test. I'm sorry to Switzerland, for example, who are a good team, but coming up against Netherlands, that's a real test. A lot of nations would struggle. Most top nations, it's a good game. Netherlands definitely up there, right? And we took the game to them. I'm not saying we dominated and played the most beautiful football ever, but we contained them. They didn't look that dangerous. They scored a fantastic goal in the first half. Xavi Simons, he's going to get his big move eventually. I don't think he's ever going to actually play for PSG. They keep loaning him out. Apparently, he's going to be on loan again this upcoming season. I would do anything to have him at Arsenal. He's such a great player. Great goal. But then I'm trying to think of other chances they had. They did hit the bar with Dumfries' header. The penalty was a little bit harsh. It's very, very difficult. I want to say that that's a foul anywhere else on the pitch, but then you're questioning the point in defending in general. He's got every right, Dumfries, to go for the ball there. So I'm very... No, it was a pen. It's England. It's a penalty. Put it this way, if we had a penalty given against us for that, I would be disappointed. So I'm going to give the Netherlands that it probably wasn't a penalty. It's very harsh. Harry Kane, the way he's put that penalty away, I think he's the best penalty kick taker I've ever seen. There's Balotelli. I remember the good old days of Balotelli taking his pens. Jorginho is definitely one of the best I've seen, but I think Harry Kane might be the best. I don't even question it. He will score his penalties, and if he doesn't, it's such an anomaly, and you just say, well, it does happen every now and again, but he's a 9.5 out of 10 when it comes to penalties. Genuinely astounding. I think that's 10 in a row he's scored now. So, unbelievable for England. And that's his 66th goal. Now, on the topic of Harry Kane, one problem I think we've had with this entire tournament is Harry Kane dropping into midfield all the time. He should be up here against Van Dijk and De Vrij the whole game. In my opinion, he should be right up there, because what he doesn't have is pace. So the last thing you want him doing is dropping deep and then not making it to the box in time when we transition. Harry Kane was brilliant today. But I still have the same opinion that I said, I think, in the last few games, realistically, that we could play without Harry Kane and we would be okay. And I think seeing a certain Ollie Watkins come on, and I was watching the game with a few of my friends, and they asked me, who would you bring on? And I said straight away, Ollie Watkins, get him on. That game was perfect for Ollie Watkins. And the way he just glided into the box and the finish, just as good as Harry Kane's penalty, just away in the corner, no chance for Verbruggen, and what a moment for him. We deserved this. We really did. And do you know what? I've given Southgate some criticism, but I think I've been very fair. I think a lot of people haven't been fair with Gareth Southgate. A lot of people that have treated him like he's some sort of criminal. Now, he hasn't been good enough. He hasn't won anything with us yet, but he's taken us further than any other manager since '66. And he deserves credit for games like tonight. He outmastered a very good manager. Koeman is brilliant. And he got us playing very good football. Just look at this. We haven't seen this. And to be fair, 1.3 expected goals isn't that impressive. But for us in this tournament, that's impressive. Against, when you look at the defence that the Netherlands have and the options they've got off the bench as well, it's a really good defence. And we were brilliant. We were absolutely brilliant. Let's talk about the first goal briefly, because my favourite midfield general in the world, a certain Declan Rice, was involved. He lost the ball, and Declan Rice, I think, along with Kobbie Mainoo, have been fantastic this tournament. Kobbie Mainoo, unbelievable. But that was an error from Rice for sure, and I'm sure he's going to be really disappointed with that. Some people were saying it was a bit of a foul, and I kind of understand why people would say that, especially Arsenal fans, because nothing can touch our golden boy. But no, it was poor from Rice. But the rest of the game, I thought it was brilliant that he switched himself back on, got back into the game, and to see him at the end celebrating like that, I'm so glad that we've got him and Man City don't. Put it that way. He's just a superstar. But next to him today, Kobbie Mainoo, for me, he's a different class. He is going to be some player. I think that balance of Rice and Mainoo is, that's the future of England. Man United have got themselves a true superstar there. I thought Luke Shaw came on and did a really good job for Trippier, and I want Luke Shaw starting when the final comes around on Sunday. It's Sunday, right? Not Saturday. Nothing against Trippier, but it's obviously not his best position, and he isn't as good as he used to be. He's lost that edge, I think, and Luke Shaw was very good for a player that hasn't been playing much. Cole Palmer did a good job when he came on. I thought Foden had a good game in this area, this right side, cutting in on his left foot, hitting the post. Very unlucky. A chance that he probably should have scored. He didn't get enough power on it in the end, and it was cleared off the line. But I thought Foden was really good, and he's been, for me, one of the most frustrating players to watch in this England side. So that was great to see. Bellingham, a quiet game again, but he's that kind of player he's just a luxury player to have on the pitch. You have him on the pitch when he's available. It's as simple as that. Saka, very effective down the right. Again, some good moments. Although today I thought he was a little bit slow to release the ball. I think he needs to release it quicker or shoot sooner. Kyle Walker was much, much better, and so was John Stones. I thought Stones has not looked himself, but today he was brilliant. And Pickford, didn't have to do too much, did he? We can have a brief chat about Netherlands, because I'm not going to lie, I didn't expect them to get to the semis. Looking at let's face it, they haven't had a great run in tournament football, but they have some very good players. There's no way you can say that they're not a strong side. I do wonder if they'd be better off with three at the back. I do wonder if that would suit them. Basically, if they mirrored what we did today. And if that means still you don't get Van der Ven in, who I would put in, by the way, I'd put Van Dijk in the middle. I'd have Van der Ven and I'd have De Vrij. And then I'd have Dumfries or Frimpong on the right. I'd probably go with Frimpong, and then someone on the left. Whether that's Ake or not, I don't know. I just feel like it might suit them more. I don't know. I'm a big fan. I think they were very unlucky with Depay going off, because he's been very good for them. And Xavi Simons has been absolutely brilliant for them as well. Marlon was disappointing. Ex-Arsenal player, of course. So good for Dortmund on his day. I think at times they were unlucky, though. It wasn't their best performance, and I don't think they deserved to win. But the penalty was harsh, and that definitely swung the game, because if you think they score and then they start playing well and dominating and maybe even make it 2-0, it's a completely different game. We probably fall off and lose. But instead, we go up the other side of the pitch and we get a lucky penalty and we score. And from then on, it was kind of over. Not over, but we played very well. Weghorst, just a one-trick pony. We dealt with him so well. I was scared when he came on, actually. I would have liked to have seen Xerxes more. We all know what he's capable of. He's going to be a good player for United when he joins. Oh, I'm just so happy. I'm so happy. We are in the final. I didn't expect that. I really didn't. So that's going to be a really, really good match. I mean, I feel bad for this, but personally, I don't see us beating Spain. I think they have been the best team consistently. But do you know what? If we play like we play today, we've got a chance. We are massive underdogs going into it, and that's purely based off the form in the tournament. Pre-tournament, I would have said that we're pretty even going into that kind of game. If we knew the final would be against Spain, I think we would have probably taken it. But it's funny how a few weeks into the tournament, and you start thinking, wait, hang on, we're having a stinker here. I think Spain will destroy us. But one performance like tonight, Gareth Southgate, well done. Getting Kane to push up further today, I think there's clearly been an instruction. Do not drop deep anymore. And the Luke Shaw sub. What? Hello, Gareth? Are you okay? I think he's almost thinking, well, this is it now, innit? I might as well go for it. Let's go out with a bang. Let's make a call. Just do it earlier. Be brave. Don't be such a scaredy cat, for lack of a better term. But it's going to be a brilliant game on Sunday. I cannot wait for Spain versus England. My prediction is a Spain win, and I'm saying that just as a realist. I understand that form is massive, but do you know what? On the day, like I said, if we turn up and play like we did today, we really do have a chance, and it might genuinely come home. Shouldn't have said that.